is your Neepawa Town Council Debrief for the March the 19th, 2024 meeting. In another fairly succinct meeting, Council covered local events, infrastructure updates, and a new heritage and artifact policy. Councillors was busy with several meetings in their areas of responsibility, including the Spruce Plains Justice Committee AGM and Rossburn Subdivision Trail Association. Councillor Nadeau reported that the local library will begin opening on Thursday evenings and Saturdays and has several new activities starting. Councillor Sisley brings a whole host of activities and events from Economic Development and the Recreation Department, including a job fair on April 25th and Community Expo on April 9th, among others. As well, an age-friendly community workshop will be held on April 18th for any interested parties. Contact the town office to register for any of these. Councillor Pottinger added that the Yellowhead Rec Centre is looking for a new director. Councillor Parrott announced that the 2024 Farm and Leisure Lotto is now underway, an annual fundraiser that pays for the local medical clinic. One of the newest projects at the medical clinic is the Resident Lounge, which will help support the new residency program in the community.
Councillor Nadeau.
We've got three brief ones. So the Spruce Plains Justice Committee met on March 12th, and we had our regular meeting and our AGM. So we had two meetings, and we are seeing a lot of support for our Justice Committee. We're doing a lot of good, and we're seeing that support from the province, and as well we're able to share some of our success stories with our province and the region, just of what we're doing. Also, I'd like to report that on March 11th, we had a local library advisory committee meeting, and at that meeting we talked about some of our regular business, but we also spoke about how starting on April 4th, some exciting news, in Neepawa, Thursday, the public library will be open until 7 p.m. So that's a real bonus moving forward on Thursdays. Also, on Saturdays, we're open 10 to 7 p.m. now too. So we're seeing a lot of interest and a lot of success. We're running programs on Saturdays such as adult board games with a very, very good turnout. And our new assistant programming librarian is doing some really good work, and we're looking to continue to see her hours hopefully expand as we continue to go. So some really good news for our library. If you haven't been there recently, you definitely need to go, because we've got some new kid furniture, which is really nice. It's like that faux vinyl leather where you can easily wipe it, and it's bright colors, of course, so the kids just absolutely love it. And to also report on March 7th, the RSTA, we had a trail meeting, and we're really excited. We're doing an event along our trail. Now it's over at the other end of the trail towards Rossburn and the park. In that section, it's an International Trails Day where we're going to be having people do coming from one part of the park, like from Onernall, right to a central point where you can bike, and then if you want, you can also hike it from another feature point. So we're getting that all organized for International Trails Day, which is coming in June. And on April 4th, we're having our AGM. And myself and our worship will be attending on behalf of Neepawa, the AGM, and that'll be in Onernall, and it'll be on April 4th. So I think that's all that I'll share with you guys today.
Great. Thank you. Councillor Sisley.
I have a bit, I apologize. Economic development, I did want to touch on again that they are in partnership with Westlake Employment and Settlement Services. They're looking for businesses to participate in the job fair, which will be held on April 25th from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Neepawa Legion. There is no fee for businesses to attend. If you'd like more information or to register, if you can contact Marilyn at the town office. Handyman, we had a meeting at noon today. I would like to start by saying thank you very much to the Legion ladies for supporting us with the supper last Friday. I was not able to attend, but I heard the roast beef was absolutely delicious. They raised just over $2,100 for Handyman, so that was a huge fundraiser for us. And in January and February, they had 1,199 trips for the handyvans. So the ridership is starting to go up again. We need it to continue to go up though. There is another casino trip coming up on Monday, March 25th. You can contact Michelle at the hand office to reserve your spot for that. And the rec update. So with the pool, the lesson registration opened up last week. It was a bit crazy. There was 420 kids registered since last Tuesday. There is an upgrade to the women's change room floor. It's in progress right now and will be completed April, early May. If anyone is interested in becoming a lifeguard, there is training scheduled for this summer at the pool. So if they can go to neepawarecreation.ca or call Nicole at the town office if you're interested. The Community Expo is coming up April 9th at the Yellowhead Center. So far there's 24 organizations attending it. I think it'll be a great event just for people to come out and see what all of the organizations have, what they have to offer. I know Arts Forward is hopefully planning on having a box demo and people can try out some martial arts stuff there. There is a standard first aid course that Recreation is offering here. It's April 27th and 28th. You can register online or again contact Nicole. Babysitting courses, the next one's full, but they are ongoing throughout the year. Nicole had a lot. Cardio drumming, Neepawa Golden Beats. Nicole got the funding through Healthy Together Now grant, and it's in partnership with HAND and Arts Forward. It's free for anybody 50 plus years old, and it starts April 15th. So I think there's only about 4 spots left actually for what's available there. So if you are wanting that, you do have to pre-register for that one. Townwide yard sales will be May 25th. Please register for the sale at neepawarecreation.ca or phone the town office. And there is age-friendly community workshop on April 18th from 9:30 to 1 o'clock at Arts Forward. Anybody working with the aging population or that has a vested interest should contact Nicole. Lunch will be provided, but you do need to RSVP for that one. Campground reservations are opening on April 3rd. All reservations will be online through campreservations.ca. And the last one was Nicole and myself actually attended the Provincial Recreation Conference last week. It was a great conference. There was lots and lots of good networking and a lot of valuable stuff learned with accessibility and inclusion. So I apologize. Very late.
Okay, thanks a lot. Deputy Mayor.
I'd like to promote our Neepawa District Medical Committee's Farm and Leisure Lottery. This is what pays for the medical clinic. And the money over the years is also contributed to the care home, but right now we're still working on the medical clinic, and I believe I've given Jeremy a copy of this so he can get a close-up of it later, and I'll allow Councillor Pottinger to discuss what she's doing with some of the money downstairs.
No pressure. A small subcommittee of us are working on the resident lounge in the downstairs of the clinic. Neepawa has been fortunate to be chosen as a residency program host community. And I'm told that communities that already host this don't have trouble with doctor supply down the road, that this is a long-term plan. This year we'll receive 2 residents, and then after this year we'll have 4 residents here. So along with the accommodations that are down there and special boardrooms and such, we are making a resident lounge. So that's what some of that funding is going toward. And I'm going painting tomorrow down there. So if anybody needs to come painting, that would be a way to contribute.
What time are you painting?
6.
Okay, good to know.
In the morning?
No.
Okay.
They fools meet in the morning. Is that all your?
Yeah, and you know what? It's been well supported, and it just like Councillor Fogger says, this stuff is what's making Neepawa draw doctors. Our community as a whole is a go-to community. We have what do they call it? Life and recreational attributes that are many in this community. You just have to put them on a list and you realize there is stuff to do for kids and there is stuff to do for seniors. Yeah, anyway, I'm done.
Okay, and Councillor Pottinger, you had
I
some additional?
Yeah, the only, I have nothing else to add over here, do I? Although at 50 plus, we should sign up and go for the golden.
When Nicole said that, she said, so what should I put for age, 50 plus? I'm like, yeah. And then after I was like, wait a second.
Seniors. All kidding aside, my report is short. I attended the Yellowhead Rec Center committee meeting last night, and the board is looking for a new director. And that's all I have to report.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
You know,
Councillor Lund.
I've got an unofficial report, but last week, it's a good one, I think. Our community is very fortunate. Last week, I was able to visit the community ministries, the Salvation Army, and I asked them to give me a tour of our food bank. And they did, and it's just such an amazing program, and if you haven't been, you should take that time. They allow people that access the food bank that are food insecure to actually shop in their little store, and there's a point system they have, and it's really neat to set up, so it gives people that ability to have that pride in selecting what they can eat and take. And we know in these times, it's something that we have to think about when we're talking about inflation and the cost of living, and Neepawa is definitely seeing more and more uptake in these things, as well as all of our surrounding communities. We have quite a number of people come to access our food bank from all around, not just in Neepawa. So it's something that's really helping support everyone, and I just wanted to share that I've had that opportunity and thankful for them to provide me with that extra little tour there. So
Yeah, good. Yep, you're right. Very, very good organization.
Manager of Operations Denisa Kay brought forward a staff training request to attend the Western Cemeteries Association Conference, which will be taking place in Winnipeg this June. Water and sewer infrastructure projects are ongoing, including the extension at Highway 16 and the lagoon. He noted that staff are patching potholes where they can, but the potholes cannot be patched while still holding water. They are aware of the problem and are addressing it as quickly as they are able.
Okay, if there's no more reports, we'll go to our manager of operation.
Thank you, Mayor. So I've had a staff training request. Usually when we do reviews with staff, we encourage them if there's any additional training or education components they want to foresee or look into doing. We encourage. So I've had one submitted to me that needed to attend a cemetery conference, and that will be coming in June 11th and 12th. So they'll give me a summary of the costs and all that. So I'll see if it fits within the budget constraints that we have set in place already. But it's this year's annual conference. Actually, it's the Western Cemeteries Association. It's being hosted in Winnipeg, so it's quite convenient, opposed to Saskatchewan or Alberta. So I'll discuss that with finance and see if we've got some funds available for that. But at this point, it looks like we're going to be just over $1,000 individual, so about $2,000, $2,100 we budgeted for this training adventure. As far as our water projects going, our water sewer extension out along Highway 16 is still ongoing. We'll have a follow-up meeting with that this week. Our lagoon project is still underway, and I believe I'm meeting with the engineer on that site tomorrow. We'll go over any deficiencies that we're noting before our next stage of the process goes in with Veolia. But it's just some redundant checks and everything. And then our third project for the water and sewer, again near the hospital site, is still ongoing, and that project will be a lengthy one. That's expected to wrap up probably in November. But everything is still making progress, so it's moving along. And then just a further note, we do get calls a lot about potholes. We're well aware there's potholes out there. Staff are doing everything they can to patch any of the streets, the potholes. Unfortunately, when we have a pothole filled with water, there's very little we can do with it. Like, we're basically just, the roads are just so gravel in it because any cold mix, just will not bind or bond into that hole. Because if there's still ice residue in it or too much water, we can't really suck them out or dry them with this weather because it's just not friendly to us. We've been contacting Mountain Infrastructure as well and trying to stress that they need to fix some of their designated roads that they're responsible for. So we're doing everything we can, and likewise, whenever we see steam or frozen drains, staff are aware they're going around, we're steaming, the machine's probably running every day. So it's just an unfriendly cycle right now, but I assure you staff is doing everything they can to try to make our streets a little bit more passable.
Yeah, I'm glad you added that, because I know people aren't understanding, you know, they're expecting the cold patch out there, but water is still just running. And
Yeah.
so there's, yeah, it's pretty limited on what you can do about it.
We're just as frustrated as the public. We have to drive around them too.
Well, and it's not an Neepawa-centered problem. I was in Winnipeg for that conference, and we just about lost Nicole's vehicle in a pothole. Like it's bad.
It's an environmental
Yeah.
issue. It's not a community issue.
No.
So to combat that, I'll probably be seeking out contractors right away so that we can start doing pothole patching. Like I said, I'll probably be using that emulsified tar technique, which I call the puker. I'll see if they're available, if we can get them in early spring and start coming in really. It seems to be more rigorous and a sturdier system to patch it, and it seems to last a lot longer, so we'll see what their availability list is like.
Great. Okay, thank you.
CAO Colleen Sanchishan introduced the Neepawa Heritage Resource Protection Plan, which was prompted by a number of recent developments that are pushing town boundaries into new areas. The plan sets out the process that workers are to take if they come across an artifact or item of historical significance while working. Sanchishan also brought forward a resolution to request a new zoning bylaw and the second and third reading of the bylaw to set out the 25-year lease for the new RCMP building.
New business, Colleen?
So this is the Town Neepawa Heritage Resource Protection Plan, and I assume you've all read it. So just to give you a little bit of background, this was stimulated and based on recent subdivisions that we've had east of town here, and more particularly assigned as one of the conditions for the road opening of the roads out there. So what they're requiring is that if during construction we come across some kind of an artifact or something that is linked to heritage information, or we find some remains or something, that we have a process in place on how we would work around that, how we would notify the heritage department, what we would do with machinery and equipment, and how we notify our contracts. They actually have to have a copy of this plan with them at all times, so that should, they dig something up, it's like, whoa, let's assess this. And so it's pretty simple what to do if you discover it, and the process you have to follow. So we need to put a plan in place, and we will.
Okay, any questions? Pretty straightforward. So the motion is, be it resolved that we approve the Heritage Resource Protection Plan for the town of Neepawa, moved by Deputy Mayor Parrott, seconded by Councillor Sisley. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Zoning bylaw.
So this is not a zoning bylaw amendment. This is a resolution to request community and regional planning out of Brandon to create the bylaw that will come forward so you can assess a zoning amendment. So the applicant is McCutcheon Farms. The property description is Lot 5, Plan 65638, and Lot 6, Plan 6538, and Lot 3, Block 1, Plan 33580. And so just to put some framework around that, this is the piece in the CN development over here that is situated between the 4 duplexes that sit along Crocus Drive and the 4 duplex lots that sit on the south side of Crocus Drive. So the map amendment that we're requesting the bylaw to be created will refer to reclassification of the particular property in between from the current residential single unit zone to a proposed residential 2-unit zone, so that there can be further 2-unit residential dwellings created within those noted properties. So this resolution is asking community and regional planners to create that bylaw, and we'll send that off to get that done and bring that forth within the next 2 weeks.
Will there still be an opportunity for community to comment on it once that bylaw is presented?
For zoning, yes, so this is just getting the bylaw created. We could create the bylaw here ourselves, but it's part of closing the information gap and loops with the Brandon office to make sure everybody is fully aware when there's amendments to the zoning bylaw, so that they have that in their files there too. So we'll just start the process is all it is. But the community, you're right, Daryl, will absolutely, that will come in a public hearing time.
Great.
Okay. So the motion reads, be it resolved that the council of the town of Neepawa requests community regional planning to prepare bylaw number 3229-24 to amend the town of Neepawa zoning bylaw 3184-18 to reclassify Lot 3, Block 1, Plan 33580, and Lots 5 and 6, Plan 65638 from the current RS to residential single unit, 1 to proposed RT residential 2 unit zone in order to allow for the location of 2 unit residential dwellings within the property. Moved by Councillor Gerard, seconded by Councillor Sisley. Any questions on that? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Our RCMP lease again.
So this is just second and third reading to the bylaw that will set forth the 25-year lease for the use of the RCMP detachment over there by the province of Manitoba on a proportionate basis based on a capital recovery of the construction costs. So I'm asking for second and third reading.
Okay, motion is be it resolved that bylaw number 3228-24 being the bylaw of the town of Neepawa to authorize an occupancy agreement with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police for the detachment of 110 Mill Street be now read for the second time. Moved by Councillor Nadeau, seconded by Councillor Pottinger. Questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And the third reading for that same, be it resolved that the bylaw number 3228-24 being a bylaw of the town of Neepawa to authorize an occupancy agreement with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police for the detachment at 110 Mill Street be now read for the third time and passed. Moved by Councillor Sisley, seconded by Councillor Pottinger. All in favor? Against? And that's carried.
If you have comments, questions, or topics that NACTV can help clarify or expand on, please contact us at 204-476-2639 or by email at nactvnews@gmail.com. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.